May pulis sa ilalim ng tulay. Binabaon sa lubang, mustisyang pinatay habang walang nakakakita. Bulok na ang sistema, serbisyo niya'y hindi sa'yo kung wala kang pera.
Campaign against drugs will not stop until the end of my term.
Hustisya sa lahat ng biktima ni Duterte! Hustisya! Hustisya sa lahat ng biktima ng pagpaslang! Hustisya! Itigil ang pamamaslang! Katarungan ipaglaban! Katarungan ipaglaban! Itigil ang pamamaslang!
Extrajudicial killings in the Philippines. You've probably seen the headlines or heard about the war on drugs on social media. But today, we're going to look past the news, clips, and actually analyze why this conflict is so messy and what is really going on beneath the surface. So let's get started. In the Philippines, this became a huge deal starting in 2016 when former President Duterte launched his anti-drug campaign. The official word from the police was open nanlaban, meaning the suspect fought back. But as we will see, human rights groups tell a very different story about what was actually happening on the ground. We've all seen the headlines about the war on drugs. Some people cheered for it, saying it finally made their street feel safe, that they finally had a president who was tough on crime. Others cried out in horror, as images spread of bodies taped up and left in the street like a garbage. A quick timeline. If we look at the timeline, it has been a wild few years. Back in 2016, the drug war kicked off with a lot of public support because people wanted a safer country. By 2017, things got tense. High-profile cases like the death of Kian Delos Santos started making people question the methods. Fast forward to 2020 and 2021, groups like Amnesty International and the Dahas Project started releasing data showing that the people being killed were not big drug lords. They were mostly poor people in urban areas. This shifted the whole conversation from crime fighting to human rights violations.
Reporter's notebook ang lugar kung saan nangyari ang pagpatay. Dito po mismo natagpo ang nakasubsob at wala ng buhay si Kian Delos Santos. Ayon po sa forensic analysis ng Public Attorney's Office, 3 tama ng bala ang tinamo ni Kian, lahat po fatal. At ayon po sa forensic investigator, ang unang shooter posibleng nasa paanan ng biktima na siyang bumaril sa kaliwang likuran niya at sa kaliwang bahagi ng ulo sa bandang tenga. Ang ikalawang shooter naman ni Kian posibleng pumesto raw sa kaliwang tagiliran na siyang bumaril at tumama sa loob ng kaliwang tenga ng biktima.
So now, let's use a tool which is the onion analysis. On the outside, the position is simple. The government says we need to stop drugs, and critics say stop the killing. But you peel it back to the interest, the government wants to look strong and tough. But the very core, the basic need for everyone is safety. The tragedy here is that the method used to provide safety actually created more fear and trauma in the communities. To understand this conflict, we're going to use a specific framework called the onion analysis. Like a real onion, a conflict has different layers, positions, interests, and needs. The first one is the outer layer positions. This is what the groups say they want. This is what you see in the media. The government's position is, we must stop the drug menace by any means. The critics' position is, stop the killings and respect human rights. If you only look at the positions, you have two opposing walls. You have a total stalemate. The second one is the middle layer, which is the interest. If you peel back to the rhetoric, what do they really want? The government interests are to appear strong, decisive, and complete control of the country's security. They want political power. The critics are not pro-drugs. Their interest is in rule of law and officially accountability. They want to make sure that the state can just kill citizens without consequences. The core, which is the third one, the needs. This is the core of the union. These are the things that must be met for any resolutions. Look at this. Both groups claim to want the exact same thing, but their core, safety and security.
Ayon mismo sa tali ng Administrasyong Duterte, lumabas ang bilang na yan sa pagdinig ng Kamara tungkol sa issue. Nasa frontline ng balitang yan si Marian Enriquez.
Bitbit pa ang litrato ng anak, emosyonal na ikinuwento ni Cristina Pascual sa House Committee on Human Rights kung paano pinatay umano ang kanyang 17 taong gulang na anak noong 2018 sa kasagsagan ng drug war ng Administrasyong Duterte. Nanlaban daw si Joshua Laksamana kaya pinatay ng mga pulis sa Pangasinan. Pero base sa autopsy ng forensic pathologist na si Dr. Raquel Fortun, nagtamo ng fracture at hemorrhage si Joshua. Lumabas na tinorture ito bago namatay. Giit ng nanay, ilang beses na dismiss ang kasong nilalaban nila.
Supreme Court, pinakamalaki na po to, Lord. Kako, sana kahit man lang dito, bigyan mo kaming pagkakataon. Hirap na rin po kami paano lumaban. Pagdating po doon ilang araw, dismiss na naman po. Paano po kaming hihiling ng ustisya sa ICC?
This is not just a fight between the police and drug users. You've got the executive branch pushing the policy, you have the PNP or police carrying it out. But then you have external players like the International Criminal Court or the ICC watching from the outside. And don't forget the media and the right groups. They act as the eyes of the public. When these groups clash, it creates a massive tug of war over what justice actually look like in our country.
Isang maikling kilos protesta muna ang naganap sa kahabaan ng Osmeña Avenue dito sa loob ng pamantasan. Pagpapanagot kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at sa kanyang mga umano'y kasabwat o co-perpetrator. Yan pa rin ang nanatiling sigaw ng mga pamilya ng biktima ng umano'y EJK sa kanyang termino. Kapansin-pansin naman itong suot na puting bandana ng mga kaanak. At matapos nga nito ay nagmarcha na sila papunta dito sa Bulwagan. Nagkaroon tayo ng pagkakataon na makausap sila bago mag-umpisa itong watch party. At ilan sa mga nakausap natin ay buong-buo ang kumpiyansa na tuloy ang lilitisin ng dating Pangulo. Ito na ang huling araw ng pagdinig ng pandaigdigang hukuman, ngunit ang desisyon kung tutuloy sa paglilitis ang dating Pangulo ay saka pa lamang mababatid sa loob ng 60 araw pagkatapos ng prosesong ito. Kinakaharap ng dating Pangulo ang kasong paglabag sa crimes against humanity, bunsod ng libo-libong namatay sa panahon ng gyera kontra droga ng kanyang administrasyon. At yan ang...
This is the roots. This is the background situation. In the Philippines, this context is poverty, unemployment, and systematic government failure. If you are poor, you can't navigate the legal system. The drug trade becomes a survival job. When you kill the low-level pusher but don't address the context, which is the poverty, another person will take his place tomorrow. The drug war treated the symptoms, which is the pusher, but it ignored the disease, which is the context. So, to wrap things up, EJKs are not just a political issue, they are human issue. It is a complex mix of governance, gaps, poverty, and a desire for quick fixes to deep-rooted problems.